It's Halloween in the Ville, and the Saints and the Sinners are out tonight. Plus, we have screenwriters Lucian and Bird from 89 Writers in-house tonight. You don't want to miss it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Happy Hump Day, everybody. It is the David Makes Man Aftershow, and I am your host, Tsahai Wilson. Tonight, we have two special guests in-house, plus our special segments, news and gossip, and predictions, so you don't want to miss it. But first, let me introduce you to my panel. We have Josh.
Yo, what's good?
Josh is the daddy of the panel. He's got family, he's got kids, he tells it from the male perspective, and he's also a stylist and fashionista.
Yeah, appreciate you.
You're welcome. Then we also have Zakiyyah.
Hello.
Hi, Zakiyyah. How you doing?
Good.
Zakiyyah books all our guests. She's going to do our news and gossip segment, and she's a publicist as well.
Yep.
But then also we have two special guests. Now, one of them been here a lot of times. Okay,
We love him.
He keep coming back, but he also brought a friend, his screenwriting companion, buddy, pal. We have Lucian and Bird from 89 Writers in the house.
He finally didn't leave me at home. He was
I know, you know.
glad to be
in
here.
Florida.
Welcome to AfterBuzz. Thank you for being here with us tonight. So this episode, a lot was going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot to process, as is every episode every week, but this one more so than others. So let me get everyone's overall thoughts. Zakiyyah, I'll start with you.
I felt like we had a lot of heated moments. One with Desmond and Rainin, and then with Miss Elijah and Shinobi, and it was a lot of heat and gangster things going on, stuff I like. Low-key like it, so I love this episode. It was really good.
How about you, Josh?
I like seeing the other side of Shinobi.
You know,
He
we're talking
is-
a lot about Shinobi. You know that's my boo.
I'm just saying, he's also Miss Elijah's boo.
I said, look, I'm not mad at you, girl.
Look, he seems to be vulnerable more than he realizes.
Okay.
And I think that he's intimidated by David.
Oh, for sure.
We also, yes, Shinobi, class snaps for Shinobi. Thank you. We saw a lot of anger from him tonight, you
Yes.
know, so it was very interesting to see. We saw him angry, but then we saw him real relaxed at Miss Elijah's house. Gentlemen, what do you guys think of tonight's episode?
I loved it. I love that the audience is finally getting to see the reasons for things. So a lot of things became clear tonight as far as why David acts some of the ways he acts as well. So yeah, I just loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nah, this is definitely another one of my favorites. I mean, I feel like every episode is my favorite. But it's definitely another one of my favorites. And Allison, shout out to Allison Davis, who wrote it. She did her thing, and Dana Reed, who shot it. They did that thing tonight.
And I love how you guys come and support episodes that you may not have written, but you were, you know, part of. You were if you didn't write an episode, you were still on set. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was still on set as the acting coach, and then also we break all these episodes down in terms of coming up with the stories for them together as a group in the writer's room. So
That was my question.
You're see.
Thanks, say hi,
You're
Sahai.
welcome. You know, that's that producer background coming in all the time. I'm thinking about the process. But something else is that I wanted to talk about is the fact that we went to church this
Yes,
episode.
we did.
Now, the funny thing is everybody has a different experience with church. Like, I didn't grow up going to church, but you're a preacher's kid. Your
Yes.
dad was a pastor. Zakiyyah, did you grow up going to church?
Not really.
And you guys, did you guys grow up going to church?
I did.
Okay. So my mom, like David, would send me to church with other people, you know, because she wanted me to, you know,
That influence.
to be influenced by that.
Yeah.
Now, she was religious. She was a Rastafarian, so she believed in God, but it's just we didn't go to church. So, you know, it's still something for me that's, I'm like, I didn't know the hymns. You knew the hymns.
I know all of them.
So I loved how we got to see, you know, both sides. So what did you think about seeing David in church and how it affected him?
Well, first, I do want to say this. Last week, I was speaking about Stockholm Syndrome, and eBay, the Ebo, put on YouTube. That's what it was. So thank you for letting me know that's what it was.
Well, we're going to give him a shout out when we give out everybody a shout out.
Well, I just wanted to go ahead because I didn't want to forget anybody.
Okay, well, look, we also in the live chat, everybody.
Yes.
So Josh is in the live chat looking at your comments. So please send us any questions that you have for Lucian and Bird as well.
Yes,
So
so,
back to what
Yeah,
what you
but
thought.
so my opinion about David in church, it seems like it was a new environment for him. He wasn't comfortable. And I was surprised that he was as uncomfortable as he was. And he began to shout out. Of course, you could see it. I guess the crescendo of his personality was like building and building until he just had an outburst, and he was embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
But I think it also was an experience for him to learn from, and we'll see that later on.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Zakiyyah?
So what was interesting to me when he was in church is when he said, "I am the son of a man," which is what the episode is actually called. And then when I looked into it, basically, it said that he was to come to save those who were lost.
Right.
And then as we saw him exiting or going to the bathroom, rather, there were all of his family members and people who were close to him, and then they were all, staring at him and looking towards him. So it just, that part I think was the foundation of this episode, because then we saw him placing on the crown or wanting to have the crown for Halloween. So him in church basically set everything for
the tone.
Yes, exactly.
So could you say that him being in church, and I'm asking this to the 89 writers as well, could him being in church be his alternate personality, feeling like he has to save everybody?
Well, yeah, I would say that there are parts of that. I mean, he was dialed into what the pastor was saying.
Right.
And so a lot of those things he felt related to his own life. He started to bring those things in. And as he was dissecting them, he felt as though he was the Son of Man. And which is why he had that outburst, which it didn't actually happen in reality.
Of course, yeah.
But, yeah, and I realized some people thought it happened. Some people didn't. No, but it didn't actually happen in reality. But, yeah, he was internalizing a lot of those things that the pastor was saying and finding those correlations to the scripture.
And I thought it was interesting, too, because Miss Elijah, speaking on him saying, like, you can't save everyone. When Serens was leaving, Miss Elijah was like, David, you can't save everyone. Sometimes you got to let them fight their own battles. So
it was interesting for me to see David in the church and everyone that he, like you were saying, he passed all these people. Why did you choose to have all those people in the church setting with him?
Because I think not only the church, but also the message was a trigger. So you see, instead of relating it to the Bible as the pastor's doing, he's just relating these things to his life. And as that burst out comes, just like as he's leaving, that's what he sees in his mind. He's still relating that message back to his life. Like you said, the idea of saving people and what his role is, a lot of those things come to life there.
We also saw Halloween happen in this episode, which was Miss Gloria's favorite. It seemed like a day for her
celebration.
It seemed like her favorite holiday. She was really herself, and she got to let all her other troubles
disappear,
let go for a moment. And she looked great as, was she Elvira?
I think she was just a witch. Yeah, just a witch.
She was just a witch. We saw Halloween in the Ville for the first time. It wasn't Christmas, and I found it ironic that this is the fun time for everybody, you know. Whereas, and the funny thing is, Halloween, some very religious people are like, that's the devil's day,
right?
And it could also be, growing up in New York, that was also a very dangerous day because kids were throwing eggs with razor blades in it, and people were getting robbed for their candy. So to see that's true. City life. Halloween in the Ville, how did you guys like seeing everyone so in such a good mood?
I liked seeing the joviality, I guess is the word for me, of all the people, because it is an escape. I mean, Halloween itself for people is an escape. They're able to dress up like whatever character they want to be. I mean, I didn't dress up for Halloween, but if I did today, I'd probably be Mr. Incredible.
Okay. Because you got the kids. And
he's just my dude, though. Mr. Incredible is incredible. So, but just seeing how Gloria faced David and she forced happiness on him. She was like, look, bruh. Okay, we can be broke and mad tomorrow, but today I am going to celebrate. And I think it's good though. I think that she was able. It's good that she can escape and just be in a different world.
Now, when you saw Miss Gloria happy, did you think she was on the drugs again?
No.
Okay,
Miss Glow. I don't think you were always on drugs. I just thought
it was just that one time.
It was like that one time, but
that's funny.
But this was the part of the show where I was happy and I was so proud to see everyone getting along and having fun and just escaping, like you said, seeing Miss Glow being someone else, and then seeing Seren being happy for once, because it's so intense every time we see Seren.
Poor thing.
I literally like almost shed tears every time.
Yeah, I'm holding my breath every time I see him. We saw him happy in the Ville for Halloween, and we saw him happy when he was singing.
Yes.
Those were the only 2 times. Now, guys, tell us what's going on with Seren. I mean, can you just give us a little insight into what's happening?
This is one of my favorite parts, because we get Seren outside of Mr. and Mrs. Kelly. Every time they're on the screen, they do an amazing job, because it just feels like you need to take a shower afterwards. Dirty. It's like, ugh. But getting him to go to the Ville of all places and have this amazing experience, it just shows that juxtaposition that kind of came up in the end when he said it's crazy here. Like, you had fun, like more fun ever. So it's again bringing up, just because somebody's lifestyle is that gated community, they probably need to escape somewhere too.
That's the first thing I thought about.
We find escape in different things.
I like that. I like that.
I like how the dynamic is money, sadness, no money, happiness.
At times.
Yeah, at times, but it seems like there's never any happiness in Seren's life. But
only when he's singing and when he's with David.
I'm talking about when he's at home.
Yeah.
His family dynamic seems to be compromised or toxic. And he's never happy when he's at home. And they got the LTZ Tahoe. Everybody know that's the fully loaded one. Okay, everybody know that. Okay.
See, you always know guy stuff. Like
well, the guys laugh, they know it.
I never know those things. But you know what I do know is how much we love AfterBuzz. Hey. So, can you tell us why?
You know what? I think I will, Tsahai.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you.
Y'all know, Tsahai tells me what to do sometimes, okay, people? But we do love AfterBuzz, and we're happy that you all love AfterBuzz with us. If it were not for you all, we'd not be here today with our wonderful 89 writers, the 1989 Club, the 89 writers, and our wonderful manager, John, over here. We like John, too. But we want to say thank you to everyone out there on YouTube, anyone who's watching us, listening to us. Make sure you subscribe to us. Make sure that you let us know how you feel in the comments. Ask us any questions that you want to ask us. If you're on iTunes, give us 5 stars. It will not allow you to click any less than 5 stars. Always remember that, people. We thank you so much for making us the ESPN of TV Talk, and we just love it that we can do this for you.
Yes, and thank you to everyone that commented over the past couple of weeks, but specifically last week, we have Akazia J, and then we have Comb Kid, and like Josh already said, eBay the Ebo. So thank you so much. I wanted to ask you guys, so you're a screenwriting duo. How does that work? How do you make that work, like with working with, someone with a teammate, basically?
I'll say a lot of time. We've been writing together since we were in college, so we started off doing spoken word together. So we're both poets, and we have to come in the room and go, hey, we're going to write this poem together. And a lot of that was the same things we applied when it came to screenwriting. It's always focus on the work and not your ego, because a lot of times it's creativity. So it's hard because there's never enough space for all the ideas.
Right.
So you just make sure you trust your partner, and just a lot of Google Docs, I was in.
It's a whole lot of checks and balances. One of the interesting things about 89 Writers is the fact that we're both born in 1989, but he is a Gemini, I am a Libra.
Gemini gang! Gang! Yes! What's your birthday?
June 1st.
June 8th, all right.
But we both are able to see each other on those planes and understand that there is balance needed and there's 2 sides of everything. So we go ahead and we move forward just like that, understanding that not every time we're going to be right, but we always just want to find the best thing.
Okay.
So let me ask you all this. When you all decided to come together as a writing team, did you all pick up on each other's strengths? Like, like Jordan Pippen or, Clay, Steph.
Yeah.
Was it something like that?
Yeah, immediately. And it was something, because we had already worked together doing poetry, we kind of had that language already for like, nah, I don't like this as much, or I'm really excited about this. It takes a while to get used to. So I think we already had some of it.
Okay.
Now, how would you say poetry is similar to screenwriting or different from screenwriting? Because you fortunately got to be on a show that is based in fantasy and is very colorful and using flowery language. So how did your poetry background help you with that?
Well, that is one of the great things about this show, that we were working with the wonderful Mr. Terrell. So with Terrell being there and Terrell understanding poetry and language and everything else like that, he was able to show us how to merge the two in a way that it's just like, hey, on this page, yes, you can have this thing live as beautifully on the page as it does on the screen. But you need to make sure that you're doing it in a way that you're not just going crazy and saying, I just want to put metaphor here, metaphor there. It's like, I'm doing this purposefully. So.
And do y'all still write poetry?
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so
It's
like
in the blood.
I mean, like, you know, like, do you write poems to like your ladies? Because I know you're engaged, but do you write poetry to
All
your,
right.
your
Yeah,
fiance?
that's how I got her. I'm just
Oh,
playing.
Poet release.
Poetizing these hoes.
But yeah, we still are very much spoken word artists. I still go to open mics and speak on stages. Like, it's refreshing. So it's a lot of times we get bogged down in when you're writing a script, it's a very, very long process. So you need that release a lot of times. Like, all right, I'm gonna go do this 2-minute poem and reset.
I love that. I love that. Well, we were talking about Serens' family earlier, and I want to get into that a little bit.
Yes,
because
please,
seeing Sarah, so we get in the car, the mama got bruises. Were those bruises on her face?
Yeah.
And then the mama and the daddy, so Serens' mom and Ray were mad at him for hitting the mom, right? And she tried to cover it up with makeup. The car was quiet. That whole car ride was weird. What do we think happened? Do we think Seren just went off?
You want to go first? Yeah, go ahead, Zakiyyah.
No, because I don't want to guess, because the last time I guessed, I said someone was on drugs. I just don't want to do this anymore. No. But I don't know. I kept thinking over and over, like, what could have happened? Like, maybe she tried to hit him again, and he basically was like, no, you're not going to hit me, and hauled off and hit her back.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I think Seren is at a point. We saw it at the end of when he was leaving the Ville. The fact that he asked them to drive David, you know, to back home just so they could have another long drive, and he could kind of, you know how you think you're gonna get a beating and you try to keep your friend around thinking your parents ain't gonna beat you in front of your friend. But they still
my daddy didn't care about that.
Exactly.
The fact that, like, Seren even had to say to the parents, "Oh no, can you drop David off at home?" was
Right.
That baffled me. I'm like,
Well,
that's
you know,
a parent's job.
But
to
they're
say.
selfish people. You could tell. You know what I'm saying? They operate by different rules. So I think Seren is fed up. He's ready to risk it all. He done lived his life. He wore half a dress, and he's like, I'm free. This is me. This is who I am. Right. You know, let me. I can't hold it back anymore because there's nothing I can do right.
It makes me nervous a little bit because, I don't want to project this or wish this to happen in the show but I always think of like suicide, like kids like that commit suicide because they're so unhappy, and I'm nervous because I'm like, no, don't do it, just
all
run
up and down
away.
on Twitter today.
Yes, so I don't want that to happen, but
I wanted to say
me
that
scared.
about J.L. O'Brien said, I thought that Seren was going to go home and kill himself. I got really sad and continued by saying, I feel so bad for Seren because he's so unhappy. And as far as the family dynamic between the three of them, it's extremely confusing because you have the stepfather who is molesting or sexually abusing his son. You have the mother who is physically abusing the son. But the thing that is peculiar about the mother is that she is so particular about Seren. If he has a hair out of place, if it's a piece of lint,
the way
on
he was
him,
singing, she was critiquing his tone.
And I got to go read somewhere on my psychology because there's a term there that I'm missing where she gravitates to Seren almost like he's weak but not, but then she beats him. She's something else.
You remember Precious when the mom was beating the... Ooh,
Me neither.
okay,
It was too much.
When the mom was beating the daughter because she knew like her husband or her dad was like molesting her, so it was like she was angry with her. So maybe that could be like a dynamic that's happening. Like he's angry that like Seren is getting the attention or love that she wants, and that's probably why she puts it on so heavy onto him, because she wants that love, but now she's angry that Seren's actually getting it, so she's lashing out on Seren.
So you think that she's mad that Seren's getting love from Ray?
Right.
That she wants.
That she will want. But and it's weird in its own way. I don't really know.
Yeah, because he also said
guessing.
that the two of them are actually doing better now. it's like the abuse has increased on Serens' end, but the parents, their relationship, according to him, he was like, well, they're actually communicating better. So that it just seems like they both abuse him, but yet somehow it's like they get their frustrations out on Seren, and then which helps their relationship with each other. I don't know. It's like they have the same enemy in some.
I want
some
89
way.
to comment on this. Like this confusing.
Well, first of all, is the mama really beating Seren? Because last week Jamil was like, I don't know, I can't say anything. So, like, is the mother definitely the?
No, the mom is the one who's physically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We noticed it in the when she came in that day.
Episode 3.
Yeah, 3. Episode 3.
Episode 3 is where that comes to light. And one of the most interesting things for me about this episode is that moment when Seren walks up to David in the church and he fixes his tie.
Right.
And he
Yeah.
said, my dad
Yes.
did this for me.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then he's like, oh, well, he wants me to call him dad now.
Yes.
So it's almost like a hint to David that things are changing in his household as well. And, David made note of that. So.
Yeah, because that to me, that should be Seren's decision, not the father's decision.
But what decisions? Seren can't make any decisions for himself.
I understand that now. I have to understand people are raised differently, and I'm not faulting Seren for this. But I can't not think of how I was raised.
Yeah.
And I was just raised to tell it like it is. Even my parents, in a respectful way, my parents said, if I get wrong, you tell me. So I don't know. I just feel like that should be Seren's decision. Like, is Ray acting in a way that's according to what he thinks a father should act like in order for Seren to call him dad?
It just breaks my heart because Seren is trapped in his own house.
Yeah.
There's no out for him, but it sounds like people have some predictions of their own about the way he is going.
The way he's going to get out.
And I was going to say, speaking on just the relationship that Seren has with his stepdad and his mother, like, even the idea of calling him dad, like, first he goes, he wants me to call him dad. And then now he needs to take David home, and his mom is like, no.
Right.
And his dad's like, I don't know. And he's like, come on, dad. Like,
Using it to his advantage.
Yeah, so it's a relationship where maybe he's it's also that his dad may just be treating him in a different way better than his mom, and he kind of there's nowhere to hide.
So they have their own bond now.
Yeah.
And mom, like you were saying, may be jealous of that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to
and
go
protective too. Like,
right.
maybe it's like
A buffer.
a buffer.
Between his
Okay. One thing I want to go back to is we mentioned Halloween, and I'm thinking about the costumes, and I want to talk
Yes,
about
I was
everyone's
thinking that too.
costume. So let's talk about Seren's costume.
And we got to give a shout out to Fernando. Fernando's our costume designer.
Great
so we
job.
gotta give a shout out to
Just
Fernando.
the range of
hooked
stuff
it up.
that he pulls off. Like
Yeah.
you all see how the episodes are so different.
Yes, it's incredible.
It's amazing.
So Mix Elijah was Miss Celia Cruz with the accent and everything. I was like, all right. Then David was a prince or a king?
We're going to say he was a king.
He was gonna say a young
he
king.
skipped
King
Prince.
David.
Okay,
They
young
called
skip
him
that.
King David
Okay.
before.
King
so.
Day.
So young King Day. And then Seren was both
Two-Face.
Victor Victoria.
Victor. Oh, yes. Okay. Now, and then little JG, Lord from Dead Presidents, jacking everybody for their candy, mad that the lady gave him some peanuts. Now, JG, you know you need
We
a
just gonna let
peanut.
that ride.
Okay, rude.
As much as I be looking at JG like, you need your butt whoop, I love him.
He's so cute.
The way
He's
he
so
was
cute.
blinking when she was putting the peanuts in the bag.
And then spreading the gossip that she had peanuts for
Go to
everybody.
4A.
Exactly.
He's definitely our comedic relief. And then Star what was Star?
Aang from Avatar,
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
Airbender.
Oh,
Okay. And we see that Star is about to kind of exit. Like he's going to Tampa. When he said that, this is a temporary situation for me, I was like, oh, I don't want him to go.
I didn't either.
I like his friendship with David. And he said, David, you still sweat.
And I like how JG was like, "What you mean? How y'all met?"
Yeah. That's my friend. How you
Yeah,
doing?
you like 5 episodes late, Playboy.
Nosy self. But let's talk to why you guys selected each costume for each person, just quickly. Like, why was Seren Victor Victoria?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think you have to look at his reaction to it as well. So I think Miss Elijah, more than anyone, may be used to a person like Serens. So I think it has to be partly his choice, because I think that was one of her big things. We'll stop whenever I want to, even as far as the makeup. And I love the moment when he turns around and sees himself, and he like lights up really quick. He goes back to nervous, but he lights up, and I think it's telling.
So are you saying that Seren is his, he's exploring his sexuality?
I believe that Miss Elijah sees something in Seren that other people can't necessarily see.
Okay.
So, like she said, like she opens her home to a lot of youth. So she sees things in him that he might not see in himself.
I think Day sees it.
I think, so I think it's just one of those things where she chose something that she felt like was fitting.
Okay. And well, let me...
But I just want to hear about the other costume. JG was the robber. Is this his future? Is because he gonna be sticking up?
Bad.
Don't set him up.
It's a classic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and
He going to fam.
Probably one of them. Probably the movie he saw at his granddaddy house.
Okay. Also, Rainen was a Greek god, which I think was very fitting for him. Speaking of Rainen, we'll go into the whole drug game. We saw some changes, some adjustments with the drug game. The prescription pad that David stole has now become a key factor in getting prescription drugs to the Ville. But David is kind of trying to boss up in a sense and tell people this is how it should be done. You should be closing these baggies, and this is how I would do things. But
do you think he's motivated by the fact that his mother is unemployed?
I think definitely that's a motivation. I think he's also a little scared because that last scene where she was looking out the window, I was like, Lord, she on the drugs. See, that's when I got nervous. But what did you? And then Mix Elijah is in the drug game too, because her and Shinobi got a romance going on, and Shinobi is using her telephone now for part of the business.
I mean, he using more than her telephone.
Okay, child, you can't falter. He's a handsome man. But what did y'all think of this whole new dynamic in the Ville with the drug game?
Yeah, so at first I was nervous because I felt like Rainen was against Day, but now I'm looking like Shinobi has so much hate inside him. And it's just crazy to me because it's like his ego is getting in the way. It's not even that he has any other reason to not like Day. It's
But
just
you know
his
what
ego.
it is too, now that we see Shinobi got internal issues with his identity himself, so he's he out here one minute he in Miss Elijah's house, next thing you know he talking about somebody, what do you call him, a faggot? So you talked about he's got an internal struggle going on, so I think he's trying to be hyper masculine to overcompensate for what's really going on.
Well, he said it when he used the defaming terminology when he left Mix Elijah's crib, and we're like, bruh, like they
It's
both.
okay.
First of all, Star looked and was like, okay, I know what's up. David was kind of questioning what's up, but no one was scolding him or disparaging him. It was kind of like, okay, well then that's what you do,
right?
But it's also interesting, speaking of the drug game, when Desmond came about. So now we have this phone, this mystery phone that we don't know about. I feel like Desmond, I always thought Desmond was weird to me, and he killed Sky. That's just my prediction.
Well, we saw. Can we confirm that? Did Desmond kill Sky, or
well, he jumped like
we
the
saw?
guy.
Yeah,
I mean, it was identical how they hopped over that bar.
I know. So
and remember, Desmond is the uncle's friend, so it has to, exactly. So it has to be something with the uncle. And now are y'all gonna take out Mommy and Rainen? I don't know. I got questions.
Don't take out Rainen. Oh Lord!
I'm foreseeing this whole thing happening because why he was like, it's like he wanted to see his reaction to him getting scared. It was like, I'm going to put fear in your heart, but I want to see your reaction.
But
it's
I
like,
also think it's because he's trying to punk Rainen, knowing that you just kind of new to this. Your daddy was the real G. You just kind of slipped in because your dad's dead. And so you're just kind of playing the role of drug dealer. Me and your uncle, we the real ones. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask this question.
Everybody.
Yeah. Okay. I'm coming around the table. So do you think that Desmond is aware of Rainen's nurse mother?
He may be.
Like, does Desmond know that Rainen is not a real G?
I think so.
Like his home life.
Well,
I would
his
say
uncle,
he has to know somehow because he he is in close with his uncle, right?
Right.
So like he sees how his uncle treats Rainen, and if you remember episode 2, like his uncle even kind of punks him a little bit, right?
Right.
So he kind of has that same energy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We want to see more Desmond, that's for sure.
Well, Desmond, and I also want to say thank you for that authentic Jamaican accent. I appreciate that. It's the little things, you know.
The little things.
I really appreciate it. So thank you. That was my bit. But okay, so that was episode 7 of David Makes Man. Now let's get into our news and gossip segment.
Okay, guys. So I have some news, but it's not okay. So this is the deal. I want to see how well you guys know your cast members and your crew. But it's light work. It's light work. Okay. All right. So one of the questions is, what other show has Travis been promoting?
Travis, it's the it's somebody.
Liza.
Is it Liz Online?
Liza on Demand.
Liza on Demand.
We had to help you, so that doesn't count. No. This is the picture right here, guys. So Miss Elijah looks amazing. Travis, as always. But yes, he's promoting the 2nd season of Liza on Demand, which actually premiered today. So congratulations.
Make sure y'all go watch that. Make sure y'all go watch that.
Also amazing at improv.
Yes.
He's so good. He's funny.
And he was on season 1 too. And I heard they were showing it for free on YouTube.
Yes,
so
I caught a couple episodes, and I mean, shout out to Liza coming from being a YouTuber to getting a series on YouTube. And the other cast member, she's from Orange Is the New Black. I don't remember her name, but
okay.
Yeah,
they were actually at the red carpet premiere too.
Okay, nice.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, guys. Next question. So, what book is the team and cast promoting from? That's a part of Oprah's book club.
It's the one about the water.
The water. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
The Water Dancer.
The Water Dancer.
We knew what if I were given a test, that's an A answer.
Hold on. We want the book, so send it our way. Yes.
So this book is it's a must read. If it's on Oprah's
the book club. We should be part of the book club.
Yes.
Yes.
Look at JG.
And he's a new author too, which is interesting. But everyone is raving about this from many celebrities. JG and our little JG or Kaden.
Yeah.
And
I got
also
Kaden shirt as well,
right.
So shout out to Kaden.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Okay. And also Akil had read the book as well.
Yes.
Keely.
Akili, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Oops.
And then the author, how do you say his name? Ta-Nehisi Coates. So this is his second book because he had Between the World and Me.
Oh, they were
so
saying
this is his
someone
newest
said
one.
it was his first, but oops.
I think this is is this fiction, right? I think this might be his first fiction book.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. All right, so I guess you guys passed, kind of.
We knew what you were talking about.
I know, right?
We knew what you were talking about.
It was a group effort. It was a team effort.
But if you guys view this picture here, they really are a family. Everyone, this is when you all were being super adorable and gathering at Travis' home for games and
I was
food.
about to say that was game night.
Yes, and before the Outfest 2019.
Now, who won?
Who won game night? That's a secret.
Oh, okay.
We'll tell who won game night. But just know running charades is our thing. Yeah, I want to come against the MM fam and running charades.
It's fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zakiyyah. Okay, so let's get into some news and let's get into predictions. We already did news and gossip.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Perfect spooky music for a spooky episode.
LOZ.
Josh, I'll start with you.
Oh Lord.
Okay, then I won't start.
No, you can start. I want to I really quickly. I'm gonna shout out Tech Romage.
Okay.
Tech Romage is in this chat. First, Tech Romage said that he doesn't think that Shinobi and Mix Elijah are in a romance.
He does. It's a situationship.
Yeah, situationship. You know, back in my day, we called it a cut friend.
Okay, a cut buddy. A
There
cut
you
buddy.
go. And then
Like a side piece.
yeah, side piece, you know, some rip, you know, something like that, you know. But anyway, I just wanted to shout out Tech Romage on that.
Tech Romage be on point. He
yeah,
was like,
the
your
water
audio is
dancer.
off. So he tells us everything. So thank you.
So yeah, but my prediction though, moving forward, I do think that Rainen is going to be exposed in some matter where Day is going to have to take over. And I think that I see Shinobi having an issue with Day, but I think Day may be able to like get Shinobi in check.
We saw that shot at the end that looked like a Kehinde Wiley painting to me with Day with the crown on. So I think that was foreshadowing. Before we run out of time, Zakiyyah, what's your prediction?
Definitely Seren is gonna hopefully not commit any type of wrong to himself, but maybe he's gonna run away, something like maybe he's gonna go with Miss Elijah and he's gonna be a part of the Ville.
Interesting. I do agree. Something's gonna happen with Seren going away. Hopefully, I think he's gonna fight it out with his mama and Ray, like just a death match, and then escape somehow because he's tired of it and he wants to be himself. And I think the freedom that he sees that David has in the Ville, he wants to experience that himself. Now, gentlemen, there's talk of season 2. Have we heard? Can we confirm? What's the deal? Give us the scoop.
We haven't heard yet, but I will say, I've been seeing a lot of people on Twitter who've been saying, yeah, we need a season 2. So make sure you voice that. Make sure you get that out there. Everybody who wants to see a season 2, make sure you go out there and yell it out and spread the word for other people to watch the show. Because we want a season 2 too.
That's right.
I'll just show up at the studios. I'll see y'all in West Hollywood tomorrow. Okay?
I'm gonna be protesting. Now, thank you guys so much for being with us. Where can they find you on social media?
So you can find both of us at 89 Writers, number 89 Writers. And then you can also find me at Lucian Christian, LucienChristian.
And I'm BYRD Poetry, so Bird Poetry on Instagram and Twitter.
Thank you, Zakiyyah.
Oh, you guys can find me at Zakiyyah W_.
You can find me everywhere at Cleverly Clad.
And I am your host, Tsahai Wilson. You can find me at Say Hi Tsahai. Thank you for joining us for another amazing episode of the David Makes Man Aftershow, and we will see you next week.
Holla.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.